Your macaw is a very special bird. Blue is the last male of his kind.
I have a kind?
The only other blue macaw is in Rio.
Brazil?
Don't worry, I'm gonna make Blue look irresistible.
Whoa, she's beautiful.
Rio de Janeiro, the land of carnival, samba,
Boobies?
Big
booties, and lots of talking birds.
Big booty bitches.
Big booty birds.
Yeah, big booty birds. Yeah, every time I saw the commercial for this, the first thing that I would think about is like, is this a fucking commercial trying to get me to get my ass to go to Rio? I can't afford that shit. This is depression's going on right now, goddamn.
Sadly, Rio is so very literally and in every way foreign to me that the first thing I think of is Duran Duran.
I knew somebody was going to do that.
I wasn't going to sing it, but I'm just saying that, like, every time I see the commercial, I was like, God damn it, now that song's going to be in my head for like another day.
And you know what? You're right. To you kids, y'all don't know nothing about music. Y'all don't remember that the band So Nice had to name themselves twice, Duran Duran, because every time I see that commercial for Rio, that's what I hear in the back of my mind. Her name is Rio. If Leon was here, he would have been singing that.
He would have started singing.
He knows all the lyrics from start to finish, yeah.
I think he was a part of Duran Duran.
He was just Duran.
He signed them, yeah.
He was the other Duran.
He was the second Duran, not the first Duran.
Well, no, in this movie, now if you're confused about, no, this is not about the Duran Duran song. This is not even about a character named Rio. I mean, it is set in Rio de Janeiro.
Yeah, the whole movie is very, very Rio de Janeiro. From the brightly colored plumage of the birds that are the main characters in this, to the crazy ass costumes people wear at Carnival. I mean, geez, there's a point like here, because Carnival is like sex and costumes, right? It's like all like lots of like barely clothed people in costumes, and one of the main characters in here, voiced by Leslie Mann, is like this total nerd chick, which is kind of my thing anyway. But when she strips down into like a Rio de Janeiro costume, I'm sorry, man, I was ready to whip it out right there.
Right next to all the children.
Well, fortunately, I was the only person at my screening. So,
Cole, so let me tell you something, man. I wish Leon was here because I was going to talk to him. See, Leon loves those like olive to cocoa skin women with big booties.
I've been to a few strip clubs with that. Gentleman.
Well, I think we all have. Yeah, I think he would if he could just go to a strip club where women had no heads. He would just, as long as there was like boobs and ass, he'd be fine with it.
He would never notice. Is the important thing.
Yeah, exactly. But in this movie, man, look, South America is where you find a lot of ass on women. I mean, that's the best asses come from South America. I mean, Brazil, and this movie knows it. I mean, they have scenes in the movie where there's a lot of cartoon ass. I mean, it's like animals bouncing off of that ass. Seriously.
So the furries are going to love this movie, huh?
Yes. Well, I'm telling you this right now. For all the adults who go to take their kids, you will have something to look at, but outside of cartoon ass, that's probably all you're going to get.
Well, the thing is that, you guys talking about Rio and what happens there, I'm sure there's a lot of fucking singing and dancing too. Does this movie have a lot of that?
Well, let me say this. Obviously you didn't like it, I'm guessing. And I kind of did like it, actually. I think that it was very faulty on a dialogue level, like the actual script. There's nothing really to it. Most of the jokes aren't funny, but whoever was doing the animation and the character designs and the whole feel of momentum to it, I think knocked it out of the park. It's really colorful. There's constant movement. Even the song and dance numbers are actually pretty damn good.
Really?
Yeah. I was like, okay, I wish they would. I rarely say this, but I was like, I wish they would keep singing.
Okay. Because the only thing I obviously didn't get to see this, but just looking at the trailer, every time I saw a trailer for this movie, it really annoyed me because it seemed to me like there's just too much shit going on in this movie to begin with. Just by looking at the trailer, way too many characters trying to do hip and cool, shit. And
this is. You wonder what studio did this?
This DreamWorks, right?
It's Blue Sky Studio.
Oh, right. No, the Ice Age people.
Yeah, the guys who did Ice Age.
Yet again, having to watch that stupid whatever he is, weasel, gopher, whatever the fuck he's supposed to be from Ice Age.
John Leguizamo, fucking mutant animal.
You got to watch the thing with like how the entire world was formed because of him chasing that acorn.
Not that. You're talking about that little mutant squirrel thing,
raccoon or whatever the fuck he's supposed to be.
Looked like a little crackhead. Yeah.
Was that a short?
This is this is the company that did Ice Age. In fact, the director, he did like the last two Ice Age movies. A guy named Carlos Saldana, and this movie is like an homage to his homeland, that's why he wanted to kind of really, do this project because
is he Brazilian?
I think so. I think.
Are you just guessing because he's got a Spanish sounding name?
Aren't they all from Brazil? It's either Mexico or South America. Those are the only two places they talk like that, right? No, I think this is really this story came about because he wanted to make something that was an homage to his homeland. So. And you like this shit?
I did like it. I think that, like I said, I totally can see why you might not have liked it, at least on a story level and a dialogue level. Cause that was kind of fail. It wasn't so bad to make me cringe. Okay. There were a few puns that even me, I went, are you fucking serious?
Okay,
even the Punisher himself has to roll his eyes.
There's a point where like there's a dog character in there voiced by
Tracy Morgan.
Yeah, Tracy Morgan. And to replace the word shit, like in an epithet he's saying, he says spit because he's always drooling. Man. And you're like, wow, really?
Yo, son, this is the spit.
Yeah, exactly. And you're like, what?
Imagine a bulldog talking like that.
Oh my god! Well, bulldog as Tracy Morgan. Yeah, I'm laughing right now.
No, I like that character actually, except that he's kind of gross.
I can't. I really can't believe that you like this shit, man. Because I liked it too.
You were playing me the whole time.
I really didn't mean to play you like that. I was just pointing out some of the most obvious things because I think this is a movie that is geared towards more kids. Because one of the things that I did not like about the movie, well, first of all, there are a lot of people in this film. I mean, there are people that I didn't even know were in this movie. We're talking about, we already mentioned Tracy Morgan, Leslie Mann, Anne Hathaway, Jesse Eisenberg, Jane Lynch.
Yeah, who's it? Jane Lynch and I forget the other actress.
And Wanda Sykes.
And it's for like 10 seconds.
Yeah, exactly. They got like a brief scene in there.
There's a lot of characters like that come and go, and they got recognizable people to do the voices, and you're like, wow, how much did you pay them to say one line, you know?
And a lot of them, they do a good job at, they don't make the characters try to, look like the actors or anything. Hardly anybody does that these days, but you can really, some of the characters you can recognize and some you can't. Like, looking at the lead character in here, Blue, that when he comes on and starts whining and shit, you're like, oh, that's Jesse Eisenberg's old erotic ass. I mean, he can't be nobody else.
No question, that's Jesse.
So is he phoning it in?
That's fucking Woody Allen Jr. coming in here, man. No, everybody.
He's one of the best things about it, I think. Actually,
yeah. No, but the thing that I probably wasn't crazy about, the same thing you are, is that on the outside, I mean, it's the same kind of talking animal on a journey story that you see typically from studios like like we've seen from Blue Sky.
Not a lot of effort on the writing level.
DreamWorks and all that kind of stuff.
Well, they're writing for kids. Kids are stupid.
These dumb old kids out here. All you got to do is like scream and make a funny face, and they like that shit. Dumb old stupid ass kid. No, that's what this movie kind of really is. I mean, it's full of very exaggerated, boisterous characters who they talk very loud all the time, and they have very exaggerated expressions. And now all these characters do that. I mean, that's a typical thing that DreamWorks does with some of the lesser films. And the story is about, hey, big surprise, an animal trying to he got lost, trying to get back from point B to point A.
And trying to get some at the same time.
And trying to get laid while he's trying to do that too.
It is in Rio, so shit,
Yes.
Bestiality for, no.
Well, now, if you're having sex with your own race.
Wait a minute.
There is some cannibalism in here, though.
Oh, okay.
So
I thought you were talking about the owner.
What kind of bird is Blue anyway?
I don't know. He's a blue bird.
He's blue.
He's some kind of parody cockatiel type of deal.
Yeah, he's fucking blue and endangered. That's all you know. It's like
cockadoo.
Yeah, and his owner that he grew up with when he was abandoned as a child is a girl named, what was the girl's name? Linda. And Linda and Blue, they're the best of friends. Mm-hmm. But one day, this guy who runs an aviary in South America says, you have a very rare bird, and we need to have that bird breed with this bird of the same species we have. These two birds are the only two birds of their kind.
Yeah, the whole species is going to die out unless you do this. And she does not want to do it, and he does not want to do it because they like their little bookstore that they hang out in and have
Minnesota.
In Minnesota, and have a
that's
ritual,
where the bestiality comes into play. I want to fuck him.
You know what? Linda just cock blocking. That's all.
I know. That's what it sounds like.
I mean, the bird can't even fly because he ain't had no ass yet. You know what I'm saying? and so, but she says, all right, I'll bring the birthday. She's worried about it. And for good reason, because there are a lot of poachers and people want to make a quick buck down in South America. And sure enough, when they bring, innocent Blue over to this aviary, they have a plant in there. This fucking evil cockatoo played by Jermaine, what's his name?
Jermaine Clements.
Yeah. Who's it's a great scene actually that they have because he's just acting like a sick bird because he's ugly anyway. And Blue, Blue's sweet. Blue's like passing by the bird's like, hey, I hope you feel better. And that bird's like, fuck you. Really, that bird gives him a look like, fuck off. You the first one I'm going to get. And he's a plant in there to like pretty much help these poachers break in so that they can steal these two birds because they make a living off of selling like rare species or exotic animals. And so sure enough, Blue gets taken. He's caught out in the wild, can't fly. He's on like a chain with the Anne Hathaway bird, who's, what was that bird's name?
You know what? I was afraid you were going to ask that because I can't remember.
And that bird was fine. You can't remember that bird's name?
You want
Jewel.
The bird was fine? Is that your assertion?
Yeah, she was, man.
Okay. That's we learned something new
Did she
about
have
you
Anne
every time we
Hathaway's
record
nice
one of these.
tits?
Yeah, man. With Anne Hathaway's voice, you cannot help but picture like breast on that bird. Even the bird don't have it.
You being attracted to birds. I mean, I've seen you eat crow a few times. But I didn't know that. Like,
it's delicious. I
didn't know that
I
was
keep
a
talking
fetish.
shit so I can just keep eating more crow. No, he befriends Jewel. So they're out in the wild. Now, so they have to figure out not only well, Jewel wants to be free. Blue wants to get back with his owner, Linda.
Yeah.
But before any of that can happen, they got to get separated from each other. That's where they're linked by this chain while also, trying to survive the wild out there, being stuck out in the rainforest. And along the way, they start, as in these kind of movies, they meet all these different characters. They have a character that's going to help them out, a toucan played by George Lopez. As we were talking about, there's a
George Lopez.
Yeah, they got to get help from a bulldog voiced by Tracy Morgan. Some of the voices, look, I like some of the voices, and I was pleasantly surprised by some of them because I couldn't understand. I didn't know who they were. Like, there's two birds in here.
Will.i.am and
God, can't get away from these goddamn Black Eyed Peas, man.
I know, right?
And that bird, to me, and maybe it's because I just
Fergie in this too.
No. I thought at first it would be all the Black Eyed Peas because I recognized them at first. I was like, once that bird started shaking and getting down, talking about I'm going low. I was like, man, that's goddamn Will.i.am. I know. I want to pluck his ass and eat him with some Black Eyed Peas.
Was that bird wearing a Tron suit?
It's time to take it to the next level. Check it out. Get it, girl. Get it, girl. Take her to the flow. Show her how you roll. Drop it low. Drop it low.
Not bad.
You gotta keep it spicy.
But he hangs out with another bird, voiced by Jamie Foxx. And so, I didn't recognize those voices at all. I didn't know this until like the end. Well, Will.i.am, I knew that was him, but Jamie Foxx, I didn't know. And actually, they're kind of, when you get them together, they're kind of cool because one of the things that really had me scared about this movie, and you tell me, I don't know if you like this song. There are a lot of musical numbers in here, more than I thought there would be. I didn't think there would be any music, but the first scene that I caught of a musical number, because I got in a little later than you did, was Cyrus. It was the one where the cockatoo sings, the evil cockatoo sings about why he's evil.
You didn't like that song?
I hated that song.
I thought that was hysterical. It was so tongue in cheek.
You know why I did? You know why I hated that song? But okay, this is the kind of movie. When you have these kind of characters that are just there for the animators to animate very widely or wildly, they love to bring in the over ethnic types. You always got to have a character coming in, rolling his neck and talking about, I'm about to drop my thing down.
Yeah, which is in the entire trailer for this movie.
Yeah, and sometimes the animators can't help it. They do it with characters that don't even deserve it. Like that cockatoo is supposed to be like, a very dramatic showpiece, and this character, that cockatoo starts rapping. And I mean, he's like, starts doing his gang signs and shit. It's like,
you know what? I'll say this, and I don't know how familiar you are with Jermaine Clements' like television show that he does.
Call the Valkyries, but what is it?
Yeah. You know what? I can't remember the name of it either right now. Just because
for some reason I want to say Call of the Thundercats.
The songs that they do on the show are often a lot like that song.
Really?
In fact, I was going, wow, I wonder if this is actually one they worked with Jermaine Clements on to do, because it sounds like the sort of thing that he would do normally. That sort of like white guy, sexy rapping thing.
Well, I don't know. It just, the character I like the character. It's just
sexy rapping.
Well, that's his style on the show where he's like where the guy thinks he's awesome,
Can they actually make that work?
Well, no, and that's the point.
That's the problem.
That's the point.
All right.
I don't know, man. It's just I'm not complaining so much about a race thing. It's not like I'm saying these racist animators.
Jar Jar.
It doesn't go into the Negro bots.
No, it don't. No, it doesn't do that. It's just like in these kind of movies, it's kind of like every character, whether they be this or not, whether they be male, female, snake, bird, whatever. All of them are the fat, sassy black woman.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
Queen Latifah doing
yeah,
her thing.
these are the birds and animals that would be at the fucking Jerry Springer show.
Why is the Spanish bird got to have 13 kids, huh? What is that about?
This is the kind of thing where they would have a bird come on and talking about, you are not the father. That bird and that bird was out there, motherfucking tweet. Like, but what did you think about it, though? Obviously, you liked it.
Like I said, I liked the songs a lot. There was an earlier song in that like the movie starts with pretty much where he's just a baby and he falls out of a tree and all the birds are like singing and dancing. And I was like, wow, this is so, it's not even so much that the song itself is any good. Yeah. It's that the songs are animated so well. They're like really colorful and full of motion and really innovative to watch. I mean, they're mesmerizing and this is so rare these days, even for animation, they make fantastic use of the 3D. I was just like, wow, blown away with how good the film all throughout, but especially in the musical numbers, really took advantage of using the 3D. It was so aware that was the format it was coming out in.
It's funny that you should mention the 3D because I saw it without the 3D.
Oh, you saw it in 2D. Okay.
I say and didn't even know it was in 3D. And I was like, I see a lot of movies that I wonder, why is this in 3D? And there are certain parts of the film where you see the characters hang gliding with humans, or there's a scene where they during the movie they follow this little orphan boy that's in the slums of Rio de Janeiro. He helps kidnap the birds, and he tries to help to get them back because he's all of a sudden has a heart, little old bastard. and so they're on like a little mini bike, and they're driving through the streets, and they're going weaving in and out of traffic, people ducking under objects, and it's like, I'm like, man, why didn't they put this in 3D? You're telling me it was in 3D?
It was in 3D. It looked great. Well, there's a scene where the two birds are first escaping from where they've been captured. And, one of them, the main character, can't fly. So they're basically falling their way down across the entire city, like using like a piece of corrugated shed top to like slide from like building to building, like the hovels, I guess, in the shanty towns. And it's awesome. It's like stuff's just flying by them, and the Jermaine Clement's bird is chasing after him and banging into shit. It's like, wow. My head was like weaving back and forth like a cockatoo watching this.
Weaving back and forth. Yeah, you're right, man. The outside of the characters and the story, it's the movie itself. You can't help but like it because after that first musical number, there are a lot of samba songs that come in, and and then they're kind of like what's in the reggaeton version or the electronic version of some of these songs too.
Boy.
And you think you wouldn't like it. I mean, come on, Will.i.am is around. Somebody's gonna have a synthesizer and auto-tune somewhere. Fucking Will.i.am carries that shit in his pocket. He goes to the fucking Jack in the Box. I have a Jack around, Jack. But I started listening to these songs, and I love Brazilian music. I love samba, I love bossa nova.
Me too, big fan of the Gilberto family.
You know what? I was going to say, Bebel Gilberto does a voice in here.
Oh, I didn't realize that. Okay, she's wonderful.
She is one of my favorite South American artists.
I would still say Astrid is number one, but
Yeah, well, is that her dad?
I believe so, yeah.
No, she does a voice in here too, and the music is really good, man. I mean, they have these numbers that not only take advantage of being, in Rio de Janeiro, but they use the colors so well too. I mean, there's a point where they actually are in Carnival, and it's that kind of animation that. Yeah, it's a very cleaned up version of the slums of Carnival. Everything is kind of smooth and shiny. All the
looks like Disneyland.
Yeah, man. Because it's like if
Disneyland, if somebody bombed Disneyland.
That should be part of Epcot Center, the slums of South America. Welcome to our City of God amusement ride over at. But they have all the characters. The human characters, at least, are very rubbery and smooth. The animals have great texture on them with feathers and stuff. Very elaborate. You can tell where the work went in on those characters.
Oh yeah, most definitely.
But Pixar level type.
Yeah, but when they get down to like actually filling the screen with all the festivities of Carnival, the colors, there's even a part of the chase scene where these characters hijack a float.
Yeah,
and it looks amazing, man. It really is.
It's awesome Skittles commercial.
You can taste the rainbow.
Yeah, I can taste it.
Yeah,
that's bird shit. Wait.
Especially on like the birds level, because they're like running through this parade, and and when you're seeing it from their level, like running through a Carnival parade, it's insane. You're like, wow, this is just, you've never never really seen anything like it. You know, it's so colorful and flashy and like, I mean, I'm going, even though every time they open their mouths, I'm not impressed. It doesn't matter because the screen is constantly showing you such bright.
Weren't you amazed? Like the Tracy Morgan dog has to run through a bunch of legs in the crowd, and it's amazing how they fill every scene with so many characters and people. And even though they're cartoon characters, you still get this feeling of, wow, this world is really alive, man.
You do.
Yeah, it's and the music is so good in some parts. I mean, if it's, you know, maybe it's because we're partial to that kind of style of music, that category of music, that we like it so much. But I think the music is great in this.
Well, as long as it doesn't distract and it's not like, you know, it's not forced in there.
No, and it's not nonstop either. Most of it's pretty. Most of the music scenes are pretty organic with what's going on, and they're not real long. The way as it should be for cartoon.
I don't know what if you thought this, but when I was watching, I was like, okay, I can guarantee you that this is the type of movie, because this is a real huge pet peeve of mine. It's not even a pet peeve. You know, the thing is like living, that's my roommate. This is a peeve of mine kind of thing. It's like, I hate it when animated movies end with a musical number, but I was watching this and I was like, this would be perfect to end with very appropriate to end with a musical number during the credits, after the credits, and they do it.
Sure enough, like, there was knew early on there was no way they weren't going to. I was just hoping it wasn't like a Rio-ized version of some currently popular song.
Samba de Janeiro. No, all right, yeah.
Or some version of.
I used to know a girl who used to sing that shit all the goddamn time. I wanted to hit her with a frying pan. I'm like, all right, I get it. You love your country.
Looking for it to be a samba version of Friday or something like that.
I'm watching this. There were things that really annoyed me in the beginning, and because even some characters I thought I wouldn't like. George Lopez.
Yeah, I don't like his character in here. He's the lowest point of this film.
Really, I liked his character.
I just thought it wasn't very well drawn, and he's not very good in it. Actually.
Really, you thought this is like
I felt like he kept coming in and out of the accent, you know, and I was like, wait, you're just talking like a regular guy from LA, which is how you talk in real life, you know, but suddenly, no, you're real Spanish here, you know. I mean, come on, make up your mind, dude. I just didn't. I thought he was too broadly drawn. I like the sentimentality that he gets to express towards the end when he's trying to talk about, like, look, man, there's some things more important in life than, you know,
because he has a family,
going out to party. I love my family, you know. It's
like,
and I like that. That was a nice touch. But
that's what I liked about it. He was that kind of bird that reminded me of some people that I know. It's like, hey man, you know, we still hanging out. Where you going? Like, I'm going home. There's a line in the movie like, hey, you know, I want to go to Carnival, but I got a wife and kids. I'm going home. You know,
some real world shit.
Like, fuck you, man. Keep leaving me to watch the rest of this movie by myself. No, but you know, man, it's the movie is colorful and playful and musical, and it has enough music in it that's fun to make you just happy when you leave. I mean, I thought I was going to be really annoyed. There's even a scene in here where the kind of music, like, there's two scenes where Jamie Foxx and will.i.am do musical numbers. One of them is the kind of, like I said, the kind of reggaeton, electronic samba type mixture they have in a club. And I thought that was going to annoy me. And I was like, man, this is a live ass club here. It's a club for birds. You know, and I was like, shit makes you want to get dressed up like a bird and try to get into this shit. You know, it's like, it was really cool. But then they do like a number where it's very romantic. They're setting up a very romantic scene between Blue and Jewel. And Jamie Foxx starts to sing. You sit up there thinking like, damn, Jamie Foxx really can't sing. You know, he's been doing it for
he's been doing it for quite a while.
Shit, I looked down, my pants were down after that musical number was done. It's like, man, even those musical numbers are nice. I know we're saying that we liked it. I'm really caught between how parents are going to feel. I think there's some parents who are going to be totally bored by this. I think there's some parents who are going to be caught up in it. I said a lot. I myself. Who else am I talking about? Goddamn.
I that other guy.
Yeah, not this Corey, but I enjoyed this enough to where I would give it a solid matinee. Those things that I don't like about animated movies that we see today, especially talking animal movies, there was enough in here to not let me get past it. I still noticed it enough to where I was slightly annoyed by it. But by the end, I let it all go. I came out shaking my ass for this movie. You know, it was a lot of fun. Really cute movie.
Is the romance before you give your ratings? But is the romance at all like? Is that?
It's just enough to actually start to pull on your heartstrings, but not enough to get schmaltzy and irritating.
Oh, okay.
You know, because you really do want these birds to end up together. And I'll say that's one of the things that the script did actually do well, was having them slowly, but without smacking you constantly in the face with it, end up bonding with each other, because they don't like each other at all at first.
Because that's the point that could lose me. Like, the romance, they just if it's just obvious that they have to get together, I tune out real quick.
I'll tell you something, man. It's like the other side, the other side of the coin for there being like all these ethnic characters in there is they always have the goofy white guy animal, I don't know how to act around girls, you know.
That's the lead character.
So that's the other part of the thing that I don't like either. Like, they're all the kind of same type.
See, that sold for me. That was one of the things. I liked Jesse Eisenberg in this so much, it almost made up for some of the voice acting that I didn't really care for.
I thought he did well.
Characters. I thought he did well, and I thought his character was, generally speaking, pretty entertaining in the way that they used him. Is it a cliche? Sure. But Eisenberg is so good at it, I just didn't give a shit. Problem is, there was enough that I did give a shit about, which, like I said, lots and lots, just a huge amount of failed jokes that fall flat on their face. Most of the visual gags work great because the animators are on the top of their game. They really are here. I mean, it's phenomenal watching it, and they do it in so well with the 3D that it's a pleasure to watch in that sense. But I can't give it a full price as much as I'd like to because of all the shortcomings of the story, some mediocre voice acting, terrible jokes. Man, if they had just tried just a little bit harder, this could have been absolutely a can't miss film. But as it is, I'm going to give it a high matinee.
Yeah, you and I are about on the same.
Pretty much on the same level. There.
Yeah, I mean, there's some things that are in there that are very clever, and that, but at the same time, they don't go all the way with it. They got these monkey characters in there that are like, they're like pickpockets. Yeah, and I kind of want to see them do more with those characters. Yeah. They could have been really funny. They could have been the penguins. That
I was about to say they sound just like the penguins,
but they're just
Madagascar.
They're kind of a plot device and not much more here.
Yeah, they don't really use them that much. One of the things I will say, man, is that, again, I hate to bring it back to this. Everything in this movie, because of South America, everything has ass in this movie. I mean,
but that's true in South America. You go there, the parrots have just amazing asses.
Yeah,
they're true. You would I'm telling you, man, you would like rape a parrot.
Yeah. You go there, like birds have baboon asses. Almost. Like, that's how much ass is in South America. You think the women there have asses? I know you've seen Brazilian.
Oh yeah,
you know what I'm talking about.
Oh no, I've known quite a few.
I mean, that's a scene where Tracy Morgan. You would never think that a dog in gold hot pants is a beautiful thing to see, but there's a scene where Tracy Morgan is so happy to be Tracy Morgan as a bulldog. Is so happy to be a carnival. He's shaking that little gold ass. I mean, that was my favorite part of the movie. He's shaking that ass. Do you remember this?
I remember that. Yeah. It was a little disconcerting for me, honestly.
I figure whenever you when you go to Hawaii, you get laid. I mean, as far as the tradition, when you land, they put a lay on you.
Sure.
I figure if you go to Rio, they should put some ass in your face. I mean, it's a nice greeting.
You get laid in Rio too.
Yeah. Okay.
In a very different sense.
At this point where I was looking at this movie, I wouldn't care if they put a little gold apple bottom dog in front of me shaking his ass. That was a thing of beauty, boy.
He's messed up. There are 2 blue macaws out there. Help me find them.
What's in it for us?
Let's discuss it. Save me! Well then, go do your monkey business.
On April 15th.
Flying is not what you think up here. It's what you feel in here.
Come on, Blue!
Sometimes getting lost.
I know where your birds are.
Blue, I'm coming for you!
Is the best way
Last of the species here.
to find yourself.
Let's do this.
All right, Blue, you're flying. Sort of.
From the creators of Ice Age.
We got him.
You two are coming with me.
In your little monkey dreams.
Awkward.
Get there!
Yippee-ki-yay, monkey man.
Rio.